Much Ado About Nothing. Plot summary. Much Ado About Nothing is a comedy written by William Shakespeare. The play is set in Messina in Italy. The play opens in the house of Leonato, a respected nobleman and governor of Messina, who lives with his daughter Hero and niece Beatrice. Also in Messina are Margaret and Ursula, Hero's servants, Antonio, Leonato's brother, Friar Francis, a holy man, and members of the watch, including Dogberry and Verges. At the beginning of the play, Leonato welcomes some soldiers returning from war into his home. These include his close friend Don Pedro, a prince of Aragon and a wealthy and powerful nobleman, Benedick, a clever and funny young man, and Claudio, a young soldier widely respected for his bravery in battle. Also with the group is Don John, who is Don Pedro's illegitimate brother, who fought against his brother in the recent war, and his supporters, Borachio and Conrad. An illegitimate child is one whose parents are not married. In the past, being illegitimate meant that the child would be unable to inherit from their father. Illegitimate children were often described as bastards. Don John is sometimes called the bastard in the play. At Leonato's house, Beatrice and Benedick bicker with each other. They both declare separately that they will never marry. I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me. I will live a bachelor. A bachelor is a man who is not married. Claudio falls in love with Hero, Leonato's daughter, telling Don Pedro, "In mine eye, she is the sweetest lady that I ever looked on." Don Pedro offers to help bring Claudio and Hero together at the masked ball by pretending to be Claudio and wooing Hero. However, Don John is determined to keep the lovers apart. He hatches a plan to make Claudio believe that Don Pedro is trying to steal Hero for himself. At the masked ball, Don John persuades Claudio that Don Pedro is wooing Hero for himself. But Don Pedro has wooed Hero for Claudio successfully. Claudio is soon persuaded of the truth, and Claudio and Hero plan to marry. Don Pedro then sets his sights on uniting Beatrice and Benedick. He says, "I undertake to bring Signor Benedick and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other." Don Pedro, Leonato, and Claudio plan a trick. They arrange for Benedick to overhear a conversation in which they pretend that Beatrice is in love with Benedick. This makes Benedick rethink his relationship with Beatrice. He says, "They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth. I can bear them witness." Despite swearing to never marry in Act 1, he starts to think of Beatrice as a possible wife. Ursula and Hero stage a conversation that they know Beatrice can overhear, in which they pretend Benedick loves Beatrice. This makes Beatrice change her mind about Benedick and declares her love for him. "Benedick, love on, I will requite thee." Meanwhile, Don John and Borachio forge a new plan to separate Hero and Claudio. Borachio plans to woo Margaret, Hero's serving woman. Borachio will call up to Margaret when she is standing in Hero's bedroom window. Borachio will use the name Hero, while Don John arranges for Claudio and Don Pedro to observe. Claudio will be tricked into thinking that Hero has been unfaithful. He will think he is hearing Hero flirt with Borachio. The audience will know that Borachio is really speaking to Margaret. Borachio claims that Claudio will be so convinced by the deception that he will decide not to marry Hero. Elizabethan men were very concerned that their wives would be unfaithful to them. Men whose wives were unfaithful were seen as weak. there shall appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty that jealousy shall be called assurance and all the preparation overthrown. The plan works, and Claudio is fooled into thinking Hero has been unfaithful. He declares that he will publicly shame Hero the next day at their wedding. The Watch, the equivalent of the police, overhear Borachio boasting about the success of their plan, and they detain him. At the wedding, Claudio announces that Hero has been unfaithful and refuses to marry her, telling Leonato, "There, Leonato, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend." Leonato attempts to defend his daughter, but Claudio and Don Pedro leave. Leonato starts to believe that Hero may be guilty and is humiliated. He claims that it would be better if Hero died. The friar persuades Leonato that she is innocent. The friar comes up with a plan to pretend that Hero has died in order to make Claudio express remorse over his actions. He says, "Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed." Benedick stays to comfort Beatrice, who is distraught at Hero's treatment. Benedick and Beatrice declare their love for each other. Benedick asks what he can do for her. "Come, bid me do anything for thee." Beatrice replies, "Kill Claudio." As proof of his love, Beatrice asks Benedick to challenge Claudio to a duel. Beatrice expresses regret that she is powerless as a woman to avenge her cousin. Benedick agrees to challenge Claudio. A duel was a fight to the death with swords. One man would challenge another to a duel in order to protect someone's honour. Meanwhile, Leonato challenges Claudio to a duel, knowing that he is unlikely to win. Claudio and Don Pedro show little remorse for their actions, despite Hero's death. Benedick arrives and also challenges Claudio to a duel, which Claudio accepts. Benedick says, "You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you." The Watch soon arrive with Borachio and Conrad, who have confessed to their crimes. We find out that Don John has fled Messina. There was no police force in Elizabethan England, and the Watch was supposed to help prevent crime by keeping an eye out for criminal activity. However, they had a reputation for being ineffective. Don Pedro and Claudio realise that their accusations of infidelity have caused Hero's death. Runs not this speech like iron through your blood? I have drunk poison while he utters it. They agree to profess Hero's innocence to the people of Messina. In an attempt to atone for what he has done, Claudio agrees to marry Leonato's niece, who Leonato claims looks just like Hero. Meanwhile, Benedick and Beatrice confess their love to each other once more, and Benedick asks the friar to marry them. Claudio's wedding to Leonato's niece begins, but the women have their faces covered. When the marriage starts, the bride is revealed to be Hero, and the two are married. Claudio proclaims, "Another hero." Benedick and Beatrice discover that their friends tricked them into falling in love with each other, but they continue their wedding preparations. The play ends with a party in celebration for the two weddings, Claudio and Hero, and Benedick and Beatrice.